In this video, we're going to show you how to replace this sway bar link on this Toyota RAV4. It's located behind your front wheels. Raise and support your vehicle. You can use jacks, just make sure you are safe while doing it, lifting the vehicle. You're going to get a 21 millimeter socket and take off your lug nuts. You always want to be careful with that last one in case the wheel falls off. So here's the nut for your sway bar link on the top, and there's one on the bottom. We're going to start with the top. This is a 17 millimeter. You're going to either need a socket or a wrench to get that off. And inside you're going to see there's an Allen head. You could use a socket or an Allen wrench. I'm going to use a socket. First I'm going to loosen it as much as I can with the air gun until I feel like it's spinning. Ooh, we got lucky here. Looks like it came right off. I didn't have to hold that still. If that doesn't happen for you, you may have to use this tool and hold this in place so that the stud doesn't spin, because they spin usually is never that easy. And what you would do is maybe put your wrench here where the nut is and then hold this in place and then loosen it that way. All right, so we just took out the top bolt and now we need to take down the bottom one. So you're going to need the same size socket, and let's see if we can get lucky on the bottom too. Okay, so I can see that this is spinning. So this is the point where you can either use your 6 millimeter Allen wrench. A lot of times I'll put a little penetrating oil on. It'll help it come off easier. Maybe let it sit for a minute or two if you have time. It gets a little rusty in there, so it might not feel like the right size. Sometimes it just needs a little persuasion. Once you've gotten that secure, you're going to hold that stud with your Allen as you loosen the nut. Now, if you have a ratchet wrench, those are helpful because you just go back and forth. If that's not working out for you, you can use some locking pliers. And you're just going to, there's a little piece of metal in here. If you dig away at all the grease, you're going to find where you're going to put it, right there. Now I'm going to put a socket on there to make my life a little easier. As you can see, it's pretty hot. It's pretty stuck on there. Don't burn yourself. And there you go. You take that out. New part comes with nuts on. You just take them off before you install. I usually try to get this top stud in first. You may have to bend this a little bit back and forth. It's in a little ball joint there. And then you might have to bend the bottom to get it in the bottom. Just make sure it's in there good. Then you can finger tight the nuts. Make sure you don't cross thread them. Do not try to zap them on there without getting it studded finger tight first. It's a good way to ruin your pot. All right. So now we have both nuts on. So now I'm going to take out my 6 millimeter Allen. You're going to use an 18 millimeter wrench to tighten up the new nut. And you're going to put that on. Again, this is when a ratchet wrench would come in handy. I don't have one on me right now. You're just going to tighten it down. use your ratchet also as the tightener once you get to a certain point. Just make sure you're going the right way. It gets a little confusing when you start using the stud instead of the nut to tighten it down. All right, I'm not going to tighten it down too much because we are going to torque these later. So now it's time to tighten up this top nut. You're going to do the same. Finger tight it first, make sure it's not cross-threaded. You put your wrench on there, 18 millimeter. And your Allen wrench. All right, that feels good. And now we're just going to torque them down. All right, so you're going to take your 18 millimeter, put it on your torque wrench, 55 foot-pounds. So now we're going to torque the bottom one, 55 foot-pounds. All right, we're going to put our wheel back on. And your lug nuts, and we're going to tighten them up to 76 foot-pounds. You want to put them on hand tight so that you know you're not cross-threading them. They all feel good. And snug them up. Usually start on the bottom one, kind of get it in there, and in a star pattern. Now that we have the wheel on the ground so it doesn't spin, you are going to torque it to 76 foot-pounds in a star-like pattern so it evenly seats. And when you hear that click, you know you've gotten to the right foot-pound. And then I usually check one more time. Make sure I got all of them. See, you never know when you miss one. There you go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.